Hello. Well, this is the March 8th document, State of Wisconsin versus Stephen Avery. The above named defendant on Monday, October 31st, 2005, at 12932 Avery Road, Town of Gibson, Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, as party to a crime, did cause the death of Teresa M. Hallbach with the intent to kill that person, contrary to Section 940.01, 93950, and 93905 Wisconsin statutes, a Class A felony, and upon conviction shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life. Mutilation of corpse as party to a crime. The above named defendant between Monday, October 31st, 2005 and Friday, November 4th, 2005 at 12932 Avery Road, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, as party to a crime, did mutilate, disfigure, or dismember a corpse with the intent to conceal a crime, contrary to Section 940, 939, 93905. Class F felony, and upon conviction may be fined not more than $25,000 or imprisoned not more than 12 years and 6 months, or both. Possession of a firearm by a felon. The above named defendant on Saturday, November 5th, 2005, at 12932 Avery Road, Calumet County, Wisconsin, did possess a firearm subsequent to the conviction for the felony of other crime, as specified in Subject 1AB, contrary to Section 941. Upon a conviction, may be fined no more than $25,000 or imprisoned no more than 10 years, or both. First degree sexual assault as party to a crime. The above named defendant on Monday, October 31st, 2005, at 12932 Avery Road, Town of Gibson, did have sexual intercourse with Teresa Hallbach without the person's consent by use of threat, use of dangerous weapon, contrary to section, same statutes as before, and upon conviction may be sentenced to a term of imprisonment not exceed 60 years. So based on this right here, Stephen was looking at, let's see, $50,000 in fines and 70 plus a life. Count 5, kidnapping. The above named defendant on Monday, October 31st, 2005, at 12932 Avery Road, Town of Gibson, Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, by force or threat of enforcement, did seize or confine Teresa M. Hallbach without the person's consent and with intent to cause victim to be imprisoned or confined, and upon conviction may be fined not more than $100,000 and imprisoned for 40 years. So now he's looking at like 200 plus life. False imprisonment, probable cause. We'll get to the main point where I brought this up, and here it comes. Your complaint relies on the same factual basis as set forth in the original criminal complaint with the following additions. Complaint states that he is a special agent with the Wisconsin Department of Justice, which he is being Thomas Fassbender, and based the amended complaint upon the reports and investigation of Deputy Bill Tyson and Investigator Mark Wiegert of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, as well as the citizen witness Barb Yonda and defendant Brendan R. Dassey. The statements of Deputy Tyson and Investigator Wiegert are presumed to be truthful and reliable as made by sworn law enforcement officials, and the statements of defendant Brendan R. Dassey are presumed truthful and reliable as they were made against his penal interests. On February 27, 2006, investigator Mark Wiegert of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department interviewed Brendan R. Dassey, who stated that on October 31st, 2005, at approximately 3:45 p.m., he got out of a school bus and went to his residence, which is located next door to Stephen Avery's residence at 12932 Avery Road. Dassey stated that he saw Teresa Hallbach's vehicle. Now, yeah. On March 1st, 2006, investigator Mark Wiegert and your compliant, Special Agent Thomas Fassbender, again interviewed Brendan R. Dassey regarding the disappearance and subsequent homicide of Teresa Hallbach. Dassey stated that October 31st, 2005, he went to pick up the mail on his bike, and upon returning, he saw that there was a letter for Stephen Avery. Dassey stated that on his way to Stephen Avery's trailer, he passed a burn barrel located on Avery's property. Dassey stated he looked in the burn barrel and observed a cell phone and camera inside of the barrel. Dassey stated that while approaching the Avery residence on his bike, he heard screams for help coming from Avery's trailer. Dassey stated that he then went into Stephen Avery's trailer to deliver the mail. Dassey stated that when he approached the door to Stephen Avery's residence, he continued to hear screams coming from inside the trailer. Dassey described those screams as a female voice screaming, "Help me." Dassey indicated that he knocked on the door 3 times and waited for Stephen Avery to come to the door. Dassey stated that after several minutes, Stephen Avery came to the door, and Dassey noted that Avery was covered in sweat. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery invited him into the kitchen area of the residence. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery asked him if he wanted to get some of that stuff, and then asked Dassey if he wanted to get some pussy. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told Dassey he fucked Teresa Halbach and wanted to keep doing it, and stated that he wanted to fuck her so hard. Dassey indicated that Stephen Avery encouraged him to sexually assault Teresa Halbach as well. Stephen Avery then escorted Dassey into the Stephen bedroom, where Dassey observed Teresa Halbach lying face up on the Stephen Avery's bed. Dassey indicated that Teresa Halbach was nude and was restrained to the bed with the handcuffs and leg irons. Dassey stated that Teresa Halbach was begging him to help her, saying things such as, "Tell him to stop and don't do this." Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told him to do her and to screw her. Dassey stated then he sexually intercourse with Teresa Halbach while Stephen Avery watched. Dassey stated that he had sexual intercourse with Teresa Halbach for approximately 5 minutes. Dassey stated that during this time, Teresa Halbach was asking him not to do it, asking him to tell Stephen to knock it off, and asking him to uncuff her, and Halbach was crying. Dassey stated that he put his clothes on, and he and Stephen then went into the living room and watched TV. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery had closed the bedroom door. Dassey stated that they were in the living room approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told him, "That's how you do it. Asked Dassey if he felt good." Dassey stated that Avery told him he did a good job and that he was proud of him. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told him he was going to kill Halbach, specifically tie her up, stab her, and choke her. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery also talked about getting rid of her body and that he wanted to burn her body. Dassey stated that in approximately 10 minutes, he and Stephen Avery returned to the bedroom where Teresa Halbach is still restrained and begging for help. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery had a knife, which Dassey described as being between 6 and 8 inches long. The Avery had obtained in the kitchen area. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told Halbach he was going to kill her and that he was not going to let her go. He was while threatening her with the knife. Dassey stated Avery then used the knife and stabbed Teresa Halbach in the stomach area. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery then handled Dassey the knife and told Dassey to cut her throat. Dassey stated that he then went over to Teresa Halbach and cut her throat with the knife. Dassey stated that Avery then told Dassey to cut some of Teresa Halbach's hair off, and Dassey stated that he did. Dassey stated that Teresa Halbach was still alive at this time. So Stephen Avery went over to Teresa and put his hands around Halbach's neck and strangled her for approximately 2 to 3 minutes. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery then went to the bathroom and washed off the blood off his hands. Dassey stated that during this period of time, Stephen also punched Teresa Halbach and told her to shut her mouth. Dassey stated that he and Stephen Avery then unshackled Teresa Halbach and tied her up with a rope. Dassey and Stephen Avery then carried the body of Teresa Halbach into Stephen Avery's detached garage, where they placed her in the back of the Toyota RAV4. Dassey stated he believed that Teresa Halbach was dead because he did not see her stomach moving anymore while they were carrying her. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery wanted to take Teresa's body and dump it in the pond in Avery's salvage yard. Dassey stated that Avery then decided to burn the body instead. Dassey stated there was already a fire burning in the burn pit behind Stephen Avery's garage. Dassey had observed the fire burning, and he first arrived at Stephen Avery's trailer. Dassey and Stephen Avery then removed Teresa Halbach's body from the vehicle and placed her on the garage floor. Dassey stated that Steve Avery then went into the residence and retrieved a 22 caliber rifle and returned to the garage, where he proceeded to shoot Teresa Halbach approximately 10 times. Dassey stated that he shot her at least once and possibly 3 times in the left side of her head, and then remaining shots were in the midsection of Teresa Halbach's body. Dassey stated that he did not know why Stephen Avery shot Teresa Halbach. Dassey stated that he and Stephen Avery placed Teresa Halbach's body onto a roller creeper and then transported her body to the fire, which was already burning behind Stephen Avery's garage. Dassey stated he and Stephen Avery placed Teresa Halbach's body on the fire and proceeded to place tires and brush on top of her. Dassey stated that he and Stephen Avery then used a golf cart to retrieve additional items, including a car seat, a wooden cabinet, additional brush and tires, which they then placed on top of Teresa Halbach's body in the fire pit. Dassey stated that Avery then drove Teresa Halbach's Toyota RAV4 back by the trees of the Avery salvage yard near the pond. Dassey stated he accompanied Stephen Avery in the Teresa Halbach's vehicle. Dassey stated that he and Stephen Avery tried to conceal the vehicle by covering it up with branches and a car hood. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery then removed the license plates from Teresa Halbach's vehicle and then opened the vehicle hood. Dassey stated that he did not know what Avery did underneath the hood. However, Dassey stated that he and Stephen then returned to Avery's trailer using the long way. Dassey stated that upon returning to Avery's trailer, he'd observed that Avery placed the key for Teresa Halbach's Toyota RAV4 in a dresser drawer in Avery's bedroom. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told him that he was glad Dassey had helped him. Dassey stated that he and Stephen Avery then removed the sheets from Avery's bed and took them out the fire pit and placed them in the fire. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery had him throw Teresa Halbach's clothing, which were full of blood, cleaned up, on the fire. Dassey stated that Stephen asked Dassey to assist him in cleaning the garage floor. Dassey stated that there were 2 areas of blood located in Stephen Avery's garage floor. Dassey stated that he and Stephen Avery used gasoline, paint thinner, and bleach to clean the floor. Dassey said he then received a phone call from mother telling him he needed to be home by 10 p.m. Dassey stated that he returned to the residence, at which time he noticed the bleach stains on his pants. Dassey stated that he recalled that Stephen Avery received 2 calls from Avery's girlfriend, Jody. Dassey stated he believed that both telephone calls were received while Teresa Halbach was still restrained in Avery's bedroom. Dude, this is just so full of lies. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery had been scratched on the finger and that it was bleeding. He remembered Stephen putting a Band-Aid on it when he went into the residence to get the bleach. Dassey stated that Stephen Avery told him he was going to crush Teresa Halbach's car and commented, "The sooner the better." Dassey stated that he spoke with Stephen Avery at a later date, and Avery told him that he attempted to bury some of Halbach's bones, as well as chop them up with a shovel. Dassey also stated that Stephen Avery told him he used a pail and removed some of the bones from the burn pit and dumped them in a gravel pit west of Stephen Avery's property. On February 27, 2006, your complaint spoke with Barb Yonda. Barb Yonda stated on October 31, 2005, when Brendan Dassey returned from Stephen Avery's residence, Dassey had bleach stains on his jeans. Barb Yonda asked Dassey what happened to his jeans, and he told her his jeans were bleached while he was helping Stephen Avery clean the garage floor with bleach. On March 1st, 2006, investigator Mark Wiegert recovered the jeans worn by Dassey on October 31st. Investigator Wiegert noted that the jeans contained bleach spots and other stains. Based on the foregoing, and complainant believes the complaint to be true and correct, subscribed and sworn to before and approved for the filing by Kenneth R. Kratz, signed by Thomas Fassbender, March 7th, 2006. Now, this is such bullshit. Now, how did Barb call Brendan if Brendan doesn't have a cell phone? That's one lie that they can dispute because Barb didn't call Stephen's phone. Barb came home and Stephen went over there and she was bitching because she had to wash the dishes. And while he's on the phone talking to Jody, Brendan is already home. The call starts at 8:58 p.m. The state's case is such bullshit. I mean, it's sad. I mean, you look through all these search warrants; they're just full of lies. Like here, complaint is formed on November 7th, 2005. Deputy Dan Kucharski continued the search of the defendant's bedroom, located at 12932 Avery Road, Town of Gibson. Deputy Kucharski located a Toyota ignition key on November 7th, adjacent to the furniture found within the bedroom of the defendant on November 7th. Like here, November 3rd. I've spoke about this numerous times. On November 3rd, 2005, Karen Hallbach contacted Calumet County Sheriff's Department. Hallbach stated that her daughter, Teresa M. Hallbach, was missing, had not seen her since Monday. Hallbach said it was unusual for Teresa not to have personal telephone contact with her family or friends. Hallbach stated her daughter was driving a 1999 Toyota RAV4, dark green in color, not blue. Now they're saying that it is formed that he found it on the 8th. But on the other search warrant affidavit, it was found on the 7th. I mean, if you go all the way down here to the bottom, John Deere, look at, now it's 94 Rev. Okay, it's a typo. Yeah, so many typos. 94. There's even some entries in like this one, February, November 5th. Which one is it? And Ken Kratz is signing off on all these. It's not even going before a judge. See, this right here, this is a lie. You're fine informed that on November 3rd, 2005 at 5 p.m. That's not true. Karen Hallbach called at 2:37 p.m. Again, stating that the dark blue in color. No, she said dark green. I mean, they're lying on the search warrants that they used to obtain entry to the property. As of the morning of November 7th, they were about getting ready to release the property that day. And then Cuss Road happens, and now they have to apply for another search warrant for another 5 days. But yeah. So much information in this case to go over, and I always go back over it because you never know. Something else might pop at you. You might connect a dot somewhere. But Zellner's interview on that Natters channel, what she said really got me thinking. And the experiments that Kelly's doing with the blood. If the blood was fresh and it wasn't from the vial, and it was taken from his sink, just, I don't know, got me thinking. Like, Steven seeing lights. Could it, if it was Bobby leaving, where was he going? And if it wasn't Bobby leaving, could it potentially been law enforcement? Because on the day after, on the 4th, they're able to drive all the way down there, and they don't know that they're there until they run Steven's plates. Who's to say Colborne talks to Steven at his mom's house, finds that RAV, calls it in, finds out it's hers, goes back to Steven's. And when Steven seen lights, that was him driving away because he had already snuck in his trailer, got some blood, thinking he could find anything that of his he can put in Stephen Avery's trailer. He just happened to hit the jackpot. Or it was the killer. Yeah, I don't know. But thanks, Ripper. I appreciate it. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll be going over the rest of the interviews coming up probably Thursday. It's either going to be Earl or Brian's. So, I don't know. There's lies all through this. The search warrants, like I say, one thing's planted, it all is. And it starts with the RAV4. But, I didn't expect anybody being here, seeing it's almost 5 in the morning. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. And I don't know. We keep searching for the truth because it's there. Y'all have a good day.